Hi, I am your Jairam Reddy, former Professor of Physics and Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University. I like to present today very interesting topic, wildfires and climate change, part 1, covering the Western United States of America. The 2020, this year, US wildfire season so far is one of the most deadly and destructive on record. Major wildfires burst out one after another across California, Oregon, Washington states earlier this month. With October, another month of fire season ahead for large parts of the West Coast, the 2020 fire season has already taken a disastrous toll. A wind-driven wildfire on Sunday, 27th September, spread across more than 1,000 acres north of San Francisco in California, which has suffered unprecedented wildfires. Many houses, including a hospital, were evacuated. More than 5 million acres have already burned this year across the 3 states of California, Oregon, and Washington states, and much more may yet to become. Thousands of buildings have been destroyed by some of the largest fires ever recorded. More than 24 people have died. Wildfire smoke was transported across California, exposing millions to long periods of degraded air quality. This has resulted in public health emergencies and indefinite closure of thousands of schools and businesses. California's largest electricity utility has implemented a policy of anticipatory public safety power shutoffs during periods of severe wildfire risk to reduce the probability of explosion. Now, I will show a graph which demonstrates the data from NASA Terra and Aqua satellites displaying fire activity in California, in Oregon, and Washington in 2020. You will see there how the fires skyrocketed in 2020 since late July. Till then, things have not been so disastrous. Nearly 20% of fires this year are burning in areas that were scared by fires as recently as 2000. Data from the National Interagency Fire Center shows. Climate change has been a key factor in increasing the extent of wildfires and the linked risk in the western states of US. Lower precipitation and warmer air temperatures dry the forests and other vegetation, and with strong winds aiding, the wildfire spreads very rapidly. Wildfire risk depends on a number of factors: temperature, soil moisture, the presence of trees, shrubs, and other potential fuel. All these factors have strong direct or indirect ties to climate variability and climate change. Science has clearly established that climate change has resulted over the past few decades in bigger and more intense fires across the western US. Such studies reveal that climate change responsible for warmer and drier conditions increased drought, and a longer fire season is enhancing these changes in the wildfire risk. For much of the western United States, projections show that an average annual increase of 1 degree centigrade temperature would increase the average scorched area, that is burnt area, as much as 600% per year in some types of forests. In the southeastern United States, mathematical model studies suggest increased fire risk and a longer fire season with at least 30% increase from 2011 in the area burned by lightning ignited wildfire by the year 2060. Once a fire starts by humans, because more than 80% of US wildfires are caused by people. So once the fire starts by humans, warmer temperatures and drier conditions can help fires spread rapidly and make them harder to put out. Warmer, drier conditions also contribute to the spread of the mountain pine beetle and other insects that can weaken or even kill trees, increasing the burning fuels in a forest. The 2017 wildfire season well above average. It was well above the average, with deadly fires in California and throughout the West, including the states of Montana, Oregon, and Washington states. The 2018 wildfire season was also most deadliest and destructive on record in California. NOAA, National Oceanographic and Atmospherics Administration, estimates that total costs of wildfires in 2017 and 2018 to be more than $40 billion. In 2019, wildfires caused an estimated $4.5 billion in damages in California and Alaska. Yes, Alaska also had wildfires last year. Alaska's record-breaking heat and dry conditions over the summer months, which was extraordinary, set the conditions for the state's historic wildfire season. It is clear that increasing heat, changing rain and snow patterns, shifts in plant communities, and other climate-related changes have vastly increased the likelihood of fires, starting more often and burn more intensely and widely than they have in the past. Wildfires can hasten ecosystem changes and release large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, contributing to further climate change. Now, I will show you a photo in which the creek fire in the Sierra National Forest in California, which has burned hundreds of thousands of acres. Its spread was driven by the presence of many dead, super dry trees. Climate change contributed to both their death and their dryness. There are other factors that increase the fire risk. For instance, land use and forest management practices, allowing the vast amounts of vegetation that can quickly turn into a burning fuel. And second, building of houses and other infrastructure into the risky forest areas. Further, climate change significantly amplified the risks due to the fires near the wildland urban interface. Sometimes nearer to the urban areas, there are thick forests at that interface, as well as more remote forest-centered burnings. This is about the California. Now look at the Oregon and Washington states. In these two states, fires have burned areas untouched for decades. Several towns have been substantially destroyed, according to the governor of Oregon State. These two states fought dozens of fires which have created hazardous particle pollution, particulate pollution of 2.5 micron size in many communities, including the Portland city area and the Eugene city. Now, I have already mentioned earlier, the particulate matter of the size 2.5 microns are very dangerous because when you inhale, they go and settle in the lungs and create the problems related to lungs. As wind fueled many of the fires in the last month, a thick blanket of smoke and soot across the region was spread. Far beyond the fire zones, millions of West Coast residents lived under darkened skies and breathed polluted air. Now, here is another photo which shows the charred cars, the burnt cars, and other structures destroyed in the Alameda fire on September 16th in a town in Oregon State. You can see all the burnt structures there. Let us look at this year's climatic events, what happened really in that area. This year, the snow melted early. Snow cover in February and March was well below its long-term average across the entire West Coast. Then the heat came in and stayed there. Many western states had their hottest summers on record. The average temperature across the US was 2.6 degrees Fahrenheit above the 20th century average. See this, how we are burning the entire world. That is, the climate change is messing with the seasonal rain and snow patterns across the western US. One of the other factors that controls the fire risk. Springtime is often coming earlier. The snowpack, which usually provides about 30% of the state's summer water needs, is melting earlier in the year, giving the plants and soils longer to dry out. A 2016 study found that over 70% of the area burned in forest fires between 1970 and 2012, in about 4 decades. In the year occurred in years where the winter snows disappeared early. I'll repeat, a 2016 study found that over 70% of the area burned in forest fires between 1970 and 2012 occurred in years where the winter snows disappeared early. The hot drying out season is stretching on the tail end, according to a report produced in August. Higher autumn temperatures and less precipitation, a growing delay in the onset of winter rains, in California have led to a 20% increase in the number of autumn days ready for burning. In all, the western fire season has extended by at least 84 days since the 1970s. That is the time when the wildfires started becoming really wild. The California State's Fire Protection Service has openly declared that it no longer considers there to be a wildfire season because the season is now seemed to be the entire year. The very character of the fires has also changed, growing larger and more intense, and that in turn can accelerate the future fire risks. Even plants that need fire to propagate, like high elevation conifers. Conifers is a type of trees, is a conical shaped trees but growing very large, are now often finding themselves in fires more intense and powerful than they are adopted for, says a forest ecologist, Professor Scott Stephens at the University of California, Berkeley. One of the very alarming trends seen in these fires are killing very large patches of conifer trees, 200, 300, 500, 1,000 acre patches, and some even larger. Professor Stephens' group and others have found that before Europeans colonizers arrived and started changing the landscape, the patches burned in the Sierra Nevada forests were small, less than an acre in many cases, or sometimes even less. Now, they find, the research groups find, the increase in fire size has accelerated in the climate changed times. Because in those days, the climate change was not a factor. Now we are living in the era of changing of climate, particularly since 1990s. Remember what I talked to you in the earlier videos. In addition to the Sierra Nevada region, the wildfires in the Pacific Northwest, that's something like near Washington state, have gotten larger and more frequent in recent years. That's a problem because when vast sections of forest burn, it's no longer possible to self-regenerate. The typical seed sources and the gentle shade in the past are gone, and the conditions become ripe for highly flammable species like non-native grasses and shrubs to move and settle there. Similar plant transitions are also occurring across other fire-prone habitats like Southern California's chaparral and Colorado's forests. I'll show you now a graph, very interesting graphs, where in the last 20 years, on average, the number of square miles burned annually across California, Oregon, and Washington. You will see that the increase is six-fold compared to with the average between 1950 and 2000. Because the amount of land burned on the west coast each year has ballooned. You can see how the rising is seen in the graph, has ballooned over the last 2 decades. Friends, this is for today's presentation, and I will continue this topic, wildfires and climate change, part 2, covering other regions in the globe. Thank you.